was naked. Not in a metaphorical sense, not emotionally exposed, literally, physically, completely naked, lying on top of my bed sheets at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. And I did it on purpose. My door was closed, my blinds drawn, my body sprawled across the mattress like any normal person who sleeps best without a single thread on their skin. I knew the rules of my own space, but what I didn't expect, what I hadn't signed up for, was being called a creep, for existing within my own walls. This story isn't about nudity, it's about boundaries, and what happens when people ignore them again and again until the only way left to be heard is to be seen. I'm 21, a college guy, living in a private rental with my best friend since childhood. He's 22. For 2 years, it's been the smoothest roommate situation imaginable. We split rent, shared groceries, respected each other's routines. The kind of domestic peace you rarely find when two young men share a space. We had it until she arrived, his new girlfriend. She's 23, smart, funny, easy to talk to. One of those people who slides easily into any group dynamic. I liked her, genuinely. We had overlapping interests, and she brought a fresh energy to the apartment. But right away, there was something off. She never knocked. It wasn't a one-off thing, not a quirky habit or a momentary lapse. She would walk straight into my room, uninvited, unannounced, at all hours of the day. But it was the mornings that got me. Always the mornings. I sleep naked, not occasionally, not only during heat waves, always. It's how I've slept since high school. I keep the door shut. I stay under the covers. My space is private, or at least it used to be. But on at least 7 separate occasions, she barged in just after dawn, chirping out a friendly, "Want some coffee?" as I jolted awake beneath the sheets. No warning, no knock. Just her presence bursting through the door like she lived here, and every time I'd say it. Lightly at first, with growing firmness over time. "You know, I sleep naked. You could have seen everything." And every time, she'd giggle. But I didn't. That smile, that deflection, as if my boundaries were a joke, as if what I was saying didn't matter, as if I was the one being weird for bringing it up. And so the question grew in my mind like a splinter. What would happen if she did see? I didn't want to flash anyone. I didn't want to make a point with nudity. But I wanted to be respected. And nothing I said, not my words, not my discomfort, was being taken seriously. So, I stopped hiding. That night, I went to sleep as I always do, naked. But this time I lay on top of the covers. My door still shut, my room still mine, but my body exposed. I knew she might come in, and she did. 7 a.m. Sharp, the door creaked open. She stepped inside, half speaking, half smiling. "Hey, do you?" Silence. A sharp inhale, a split-second eye contact, and then she was gone. Door slammed shut. No scream, no apology, just absence. The silence stretched for hours. She didn't speak to me that entire day, and neither did my best friend. Later that evening, he pulled me aside. He looked at me like I was someone else, like I was dangerous. He said I was bang out of order, that I'd threatened to do it, that I'd planned it. He accused me of deliberately exposing myself, of lying in wait, naked, for his girlfriend to walk in. And suddenly, the story changed. In their version, I was a creep, a sick freak who staged a trap to get some perverse thrill. Someone who used nudity like a weapon. Someone who couldn't be trusted. They started telling people. Friends. Acquaintances. People we knew. They rewrote the story, edited out the 7 warnings, the months of polite deflection, the constant boundary crossing. They turned it into something ugly, something predatory, and it hit me like a punch in the gut. I had tried to protect myself and ended up on trial. In a different world, maybe I would have installed a lock. Maybe I would have yelled louder. Maybe I would have sat them both down and demanded boundaries like a courtroom witness. But I was tired of not being taken seriously, tired of being dismissed with a smile. I used what little control I had left, my own body and my own bed, and it exploded in my face. I started to doubt myself. Had I gone too far? Was this an act of revenge disguised as a lesson? Had I crossed the line between discomfort and violation? I wasn't aroused. I wasn't trying to be seen. But I was undeniably intentional. And yet, I hadn't invited her in. She knew I slept naked. I told her, repeatedly. She chose to come in anyway. So now I sit in this apartment, in the same room, with the same sheets. The memory of that morning still hanging in the air like stale breath. My friend barely looks me in the eye anymore. She acts like I don't exist. And the worst part is, I still wonder if I'm the one who's wrong. So, am I the asshole? This one's complicated. At first glance, it's easy to shout, "Not the asshole." Because who barges into someone's room without knocking? Who hears I sleep naked and thinks, "Sure, I'll risk it anyway"? But beneath the surface, this story hits something deeper, something raw, and all too human. This isn't about coffee, or even nudity. It's about what happens when someone tells you, gently at first, "Please respect me," and they're laughed off. It's about how far people are pushed before they snap, not in violence, but in defiance. It's about power, about how easily a narrative can shift depending on who controls the story. This man wasn't naked at someone. He was naked despite someone. There's a difference. But intention matters. And so does perception. And that gray area, where your truth becomes someone else's accusation, is where real damage can grow. The lesson? Set boundaries early, loudly, clearly, even if it feels awkward. And if someone keeps crossing them, it's okay to protect yourself. But don't let the method become the message. Your dignity matters. So, what do you think? Was this an act of justified resistance or a step too far? Comment below. We're listening. This has been AITA Story Vault. Stay kind, stay curious, and never forget, respect starts with a knock.